It was good manners at Victorian weddings to congratulate the groom and to wish the bride much happiness. It was bad form to congratulate the bride, and here's why. Even though women were encouraged to marry up, no matter what the relative positions of the bride and groom were in society, on their wedding day one should always assume the bride is superior to the groom. It's therefore appropriate to congratulate the groom for making such a fine catch. Congratulating the bride, on the other hand, would have sounded a bit like, we didn't think you would ever get married. So you wish her much happiness instead. Another piece of Victorian wedding etiquette is expressed in the 1888 guide, Good Manners. And if more people remembered it now, it would save a lot of modern couples a whole world of trouble. It goes, quote, "If any who through their affiliations with the elder families may be bidden to the church celebration are omitted, they should not consider that they have cause for offense." Unquote. In other words, the wedding is for the bride and groom. It's their day. Focus on them. It is not an opportunity for their parents to show off for all and sundry. The wedding day is about that magic couple who are getting married. And if any of their parents' friends don't happen to be invited, then those people have absolutely no right to complain about it, because the wedding isn't about them, or even about the parents. It's about the bride and groom, full stop. The opportunity for the parents to show off for their friends came after, I repeat, after the couple returned from their honeymoon. That was when the bride's mother could hold what was called an at-home, in honor of the new couple. This could be a tea or it could be a supper, and it was held at the parents' house. The bride would bring out her wedding dress and wear it again for the occasion, and it was actually pretty common for brides to keep wearing their wedding gowns to parties and formal occasions throughout the first year of married life. If the dress got stained, she could dye it. That was perfectly common and acceptable. These events after the honeymoon were when the parents of the bride and groom had a chance to show off for their own friends. The wedding day was supposed to be all about the happy couple. As for setting a date for that special wedding, there were wildly varying opinions on whether or not certain months might be lucky or unlucky. The two most popular months for Victorian weddings were June and December. June was favored as the month when old-fashioned roses are in bloom, the flower of love and romance. June is also a good month for betting on fair weather. The mud in roads, lawns, and churchyards has hopefully dried up by June, but things haven't yet become unduly dried out and dusty. June is also a month of relative plenty without being a big harvest month when a lot of people are too busy to take time out for a fancy wedding. As the month of the summer solstice, June has the longest days, and there are very ancient pagan traditions about this time of year being special. December, the month of the winter solstice, is halfway through the calendar from June. A lot of families get together for the Christmas holidays in December, and in addition to these practical considerations, Victorians considered Christmas weddings to be especially blessed. Fans of Jean Stratton Porter's book Laddie, or Ellen Montgomery's Anne's House of Dreams, will doubtless remember the famous scenes of home weddings in these stories. Besides keeping the action of the books focused on places of significance for their stories, these scenes highlight a popular option for weddings in the late Victorian era. And yes, I know the publication dates of these books were slightly post-Victorian, but they were set earlier. At the end of the 19th century, home weddings were thought to be less formal and less stressful than church weddings. And because a church is a very public place, home weddings were, in theory at least, less prone to uninvited guests. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention America's most famous house wedding of all, the one on June 2nd, 1886, when then-President Grover Cleveland married Miss Frances Folsom in the Blue Room of the White House. This was a far cry from the usual comfy home atmosphere of a house wedding, but then again, Grover Cleveland was our only president to get married while in office, and it's hard to keep public interest at bay in such a case. His bride, Frances, was only 21 years old on her wedding day. She was our youngest First Lady ever, and probably the most universally beloved of the American people, both for her extreme beauty and for her efforts on behalf of working women and children. She was, in large part, the reason why America got kindergartens for our kids. Many say that whatever popularity President Cleveland enjoyed was due in large part to the public's love of his wife. No matter what the fame or relative obscurity of a bridal couple might be, on their wedding day, every bride and groom deserve special honors. Weddings are celebrations of love and romance, a time when two hearts are united as one. I hope this brief little overview of Victorian wedding traditions has helped you understand them even better than you already did. And if there happens to be a wedding coming up in your own future, I hope it's given you some ideas. Thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a nice thumbs up, and remember to tell your friends about my books. Especially, remember to tell them about Book 8 in the Tales of Chetzemoka, A Bumpy Road to Marriage, that just came out. Happy reading!